The boundaries of Russia stretched from the icy borders of Sweden through the wilds of the Orient to the very edge of the Pacific Ocean. Of the 8 million people born to this unforgiving soil, 95% were serfs, enslaved to grinding poverty and harsh physical labor. Without end, without mercy, theirs was a life with little dignity and less humanity. Progress was pitiful. The peasants had no learning, few tools, and no vision of the future. This is the Russia Peter inherits, a country where people are locked in and change kept out. Only one place was different. Just 3 miles outside Moscow, a prosperous enclave of splendid stone houses identified the so-called German suburb, where most foreigners were consigned to live. Out of the German suburb came the most ingenious instruments. For Peter, they were both fascinating and frustrating. No one at his court could understand such confusing hoops of metal. But then the suburbs surrendered their greatest gift, a man with the power to explain. Dutch merchant Frans Timmerman brought the technology to life. He revealed the secret of a sextant, a device for mastering distances at sea. It could turn tides, winds, and waves into powerful allies. Timmerman filled Peter with dreams of the sea, and the Tsar never looked back. Peter orders 5 ships to be built on a lake 85 miles from Moscow, the nearest large body of water. He taught himself the skills of woodworking and labored hard under the guidance of European craftsmen. He took pride in what he learned, and even left his mark. Peter set out on an extraordinary course of action. If a Tsar had left the borders of Russia before, it had been in the name of war. But now Peter was embarking on a different mission. He was going to plunder Europe for ideas, knowledge, and talented minds. In March 1697, he left Moscow. The pomp and ceremony was also left behind. Peter went first to the Baltic coast, to the Swedish-held city of Riga. Then his course turned southwards. A hurried journey through Berlin and Hanover brought him to his desired destination, the city he so desperately wanted to see, Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the richest city in the world, proof of the genius of the West. The city grew out of a swamp. By draining and damming, the Dutch held back the sea. The same feat of engineering was used to create homes the envy of Europe. Rows of houses bordered a network of canals that moved people and goods across the city. But the beauty of its architecture, the gentle sweep of its waterways, belied Amsterdam's strength. The secret of Holland's wealth was its fleet of 4,000 trading ships, more than every other European country combined. With Dutch ships on every sea, Holland enjoyed a virtual monopoly on world trade. Peter knew that here he would uncover the secrets of shipbuilding. To study the craft, he hired hundreds of captains and sailors, shipwrights and pilots, and sent them back to Russia. He bought his own set of tools. No ordinary shipbuilder would treat the Tsar of Russia as just another apprentice, so Peter kept his identity a secret. He signed on as a carpenter in the name of Peter Mikhailov. After 4 months, he completed his ship, the Peter and Paul. At the invitation of King William III, he sailed for London, where England's finest architect, Sir Christopher Wren, was building St. Paul's Cathedral. He visited the Royal Observatory to consult with the astronomer and borrowed ideas for coins and cannons from the King's Mint and Arsenal. The great embassy headed across Europe, through Leipzig, Dresden, and Prague, to the court of the Emperor of Austria. No other could rival Vienna for its gaiety and splendor. A worldly and westernized Peter prepared to learn a new European art, the delights of high society.